question is from Carly Crawford. Is it a bad idea to increase your weight on exercises when your form isn't 100% with your current weight? My squats have been plateaued forever because I feel like I can't get low enough at my current weight. But I know I won't improve or get any stronger if I don't progressively overload.
Yeah, this is how I've hurt myself every time. Yeah. This is pretty much it right there. It's like I feel like I can add more weight even though my form isn't perfect with the weight that I am currently lifting. And then I end up, not every time, of course, but the few times I have hurt myself.
Maybe one of the most common mistakes made in the gym.
Totally.
Yeah. Right?
Totally.
And probably the reason why probably close to 90% of the people get hurt.
Yeah, you're toeing the line.
Your ego says, I can do more. And technically, you probably can do more. But your form and mechanics are off. And the higher the load goes, the greater the risk is.
Right. And there's a lot of different ways to progressively overload the body to get it to respond.
Yeah, you don't have to just do weight.
Right. One way is to improve your range of motion. So you're talking about not being able to go low enough with your squat. Keep challenging the depth. It keeps getting harder. Even though the weight is the same, you're still squatting whatever weight you've been squatting, but now you're squatting an inch lower and it's harder. Guess what you've done? You've increased the intensity of the exercise, so it's still progressive overload.
Oh, you could also increase sets or reps. That adds volume, and that would be overloading too. It doesn't always have to be weight. I think that's a, and I feel like this is something in the last decade. This PR generation. Like, that now that we're all so concerned about it.
It did muddy the water.
We do talk a lot of stuff that I think the positive things that CrossFit brought to the fitness community. This is one of the negative things that I think that has been perpetuated because of CrossFit, because they're driven. It's a sport that
it's got a competitive backbone to it.
Right, and so it's all about reaching these PRs. And honestly, I trained most of my career never even chasing a PR. I progressively overloaded in many other ways and just always adding more load, and there's other markers that indicate you're making great progression.
Yeah, even slowing down the tempo and pause squatting and really like hyper connecting to your body again, through every inch of that lift is going to do so much more for you than just thinking now I need to like keep adding weight.
Dude, it's such an ego fuck when it comes to weight. And this obviously is more common in men than it is in women. But for me, I'll give you an example. For me, there was a long time, I would say the majority of the time I've been working out, where if I would not squat less than 3 plates. Like, I'm not going to go lower than 3 plates. I don't give a fuck how low my reps are or how my form looks. Not going to go lower than 3 plates. I'm not going to bench press less than 2 plates on each side. Just not going to go lower than 2 plates. I'm not going to deadlift less than 4 plates. For whatever reason, in my mind, it's like I'm not going to do that lower than that weight. And that's resulted in mobility issues. It's resulted in lack of progress, because as I've gotten older, I've kind of been like, wait a minute, why is my ego, like, I wouldn't train someone like that. Why am I doing that to myself? Now I like back way off. I go by feel, and guess what? My body's responding better. The irony, right? So the weight is arbitrary. That's something that I think, unless you're competing and how much weight you're lifting matters because of the competition, most people listening right now don't compete. Most of you guys are not going, nobody's watching your bench press or your squat and marking you down whether or not you won a competition or not.
Right.
It's totally arbitrary. It's literally just, I wish they made weights that were like, honest to God, I wish they made these plates that were the size of a 5-pound plate that you could somehow adjust gravity on them, so nobody knew how much you were lifting.
Yeah.
That would fix the ego.
Well,
thing.
that's why I love those kettlebells, the competition ones, because they all look the same. You know, and it's like, I agree. I wish that we had that, available to us. It would totally change the landscape.
Yeah, because nobody cares. No. You know what I mean? You're the only one that cares.
Yeah, you're the only one that cares.
Yeah.